Hello everyone. In this video, we will be discussing about authority and power. So, what do you mean by authority and what is power? Is it same or can we define it in a different way? Authority we can define as it can be defined as it is a right in a position and to exercise discretion in making decisions affecting others. This is the authority. And what is power? Which is the ability of individuals or group to induce, or even we can say influence the belief and actions of other persons or groups. In line authority, the superior exercise direct control over the subordinate. But in staff authority, one can only advise. A staff officer has authority ideas only. And what are the sources of authority? From the classical view, according to authority, it originates at the top and flows down to the subordinates. But if you see from the human relationship view, the authority of the superior demands on the willingness of the subordinates to accept it. A subordinate accepts the authority of superior because he feels that it is legitimate due to traditional rationality and charisma. So mostly the second case is applicable present, but particularly for the present era, because most of the cases now people are not in a position to accept whatever the head is instructing. They to share their own views and accordingly it will be accepted. And we have something that is the difference between authority and power. If you see authority, it is basically the institutionalized right to control subordinates. But in case of the power, it is the ability of the person to influence others. And in case of the authority, it rests with the chair or position. They cannot involve directly in the work and they cannot interfere in the progress. But in case of the power, it rests with the individual and even it is earned by the individual through their efforts. And authority, it is delegated by superior. Just now we discussed, because the chief person will be the authorized one. But in case of the power, it is undefined and infinite. And authority is well defined, but power may be exceeded authority. And authority forms basis of formal organization, but power serves as a basis for informal organization. Then, just now we discussed authority and power. Then what is responsibility? Responsibility is the obligation of subordinate to obey the commands of superior. So obeying is the very important word we need to remember for this responsibility, and it has two dimensions, that is for and to. So responsibility for is the obligation of a subordinate to obey the commands of superior, and responsibility of to is the accountability to his superiors. So you can able to see the major difference, that is obeying is different and accountability is different. Responsibility cannot be delegated, while the subordinate has operating responsibility, but the superior has the ultimate responsibility. And here we have one more concept which is related to the responsibility, that is decentralization. And how can we define it as how can we define decentralization means? We can call basically as a tendency to disperse decision making authority in a well organized structure. But it is very important for the organization to decide the amount of decision making authority in hands of different top officers. In centralized setup, we can take few people and they may take all decisions, while in decentralized setup it gets delegated. So what is the difference between delegation and decentralization? Delegation is a process, while decentralization is the end result. Here you could able to understand the major difference. In delegation, the superior continues to be responsible for the delegated work, while in decentralization he is relieved from such responsibility. Delegation is essential, while decentralization is optional. We have varieties of advantages of decentralization. Mainly, it reduces communication problem and red tapeism. And red tapeism already we discussed in the previous chapters. There you can just go through. And it permits a quick decision making, relieves top management of some burden, gives managers more autonomy, develops competition within organization, ensures development of employees, provides for product diversification, provides for development of more managers, improves flexibility. So all these things, when we discuss the centralization topic, we had very clearly explained with the example. And what is the limitation? It has very few. That is, it is very difficult to have uniform policy because it is a flexible one. It varies from point to point, and moreover it increases complexity of coordination because since there is no uniform policy and it is limited due to non-availability of managers. Training expenses will go up because of the ununiform policy and may result in loss of power by upper level managers. And what are the advantages of centralization? Here, the coordination is better. Whatever the drawbacks we have discussed right now in the decentralization, to overcome all these things, we have advantages of centralization. And here, the duplication of resources can be avoided, and the decision once it is taken means the interest of the entire organization will be rising up. The crisis management is also better. And how much decentralization? When the total decentralization results in no coordination, total centralization overburdens the top management. The following situation factors are generally considered while determining the amount of decentralization. And what are the factors which affects decentralization? There are 8 factors and each plays a vital role in affecting. Even out of 8, if 1 or 2 is not performing well, then also there are chances the entire the process will go under this category. So I can list it as the size of the organization, history and age of the organization, philosophy of top management, abilities of lower level managers, strategy and organization's environment, nature of management function, available controls and significance of decisions. So these are all the various factors which affects the decentralization. Here, size of the organization includes maybe a single branch or even like many branches. Single branch includes, of course, the like the initial organization which was initiated, and organizations are the branches of the particular things we will be calling as the overall size. And history and age of organizations depends on at what year the organization was started, and even the sister branches also in which years it was started in the different places. Philosophy of top management, usually it will not vary because once the organization is initiated, the vision, mission and objective is also framed. So the philosophy remains same, and the abilities of lower level managers includes the CEO, the manager levels, where in different fields we have discussed like production, manufacturing, design, thermal, all those fields we discussed. So we have to even find out if the manager is not very much efficient, then the progress it will directly affect. And strategy and organization environment, based on the condition of the market, this strategy should be decided. Nature of management function means based on the requirement, usually the management frame the objective, based on that the managers will be working. Available controls includes the other benefits which the employees and even the customers will get through different modes. Significance of decisions usually will be taken by the administrator, and that is based on their flexibility. Thank you.